This is music, and this is another stack of first impressions, and this time, things are getting thrashy. Welcome to another first impressions video. In these videos I share with you my first impressions of the many blind buys I've picked up lately. This time around I have a good stack of CDs to talk about, and they are quite thrashy. So let's get down to business. Up first, some New Zealand metal. 8 Foot Sativa, Season for Assault. I'm already familiar with this band because I was lucky enough to be sent another 8 Foot Sativa album in a VCLT by none other than the legend himself, Nathan from Metal Down Under. So when I saw this one was available for me to buy here in Denmark, I jumped at the bit, and this is great. It's a mix of modern thrash metal and melodic death metal. They lean a bit more towards the thrashy side of things on this one, I'd say. So the songs are fast, aggressive. You even have some straight up death metal every now and then you got melodeath elements sprinkled in. And we're not talking watered down melodeath. So this is great stuff. If you like your modern thrash, if you like your melodeath, 8 Foot Sativa is definitely worth checking out. High energy, fantastic modern thrash metal. The song titles are very poetic, so let me read some of them out loud to you. Destined to be dead. Chelsea Smile. Godless. What's lost is tomorrow. Hatred forever. You have to be a bit dramatic when you read out loud the song titles because the lyrics are a little bit edgy. The music kicks ass. Up next, Acridity for Freedom I Cry. This is a dive bomb reissue as the hype sticker indicates. So the hype sticker says Cult Texas Thrash Metal for fans of Destruction, Exodus, Slayer, and Creator. And I was actually at some point looking to pick up an OG of this on vinyl because they are actually out there. But I decided to go for the Dive Bomb reissue because it has 5 extra tracks on it. This is great stuff. This is fantastic thrash metal. It's just as good as the first tier thrash metal of the era, so like the late 80s. It just ended up being hidden and obscured in the third tier, but this is great. I'm reminded more of Testament, Flotsam and Jetsam, Eccentrics, Death Angel, maybe Slaughter in the Vatican era Exhorter. So, thrash metal with a bit of finesse to it. So this is great. I'm so glad that Dive Bomb reissued this. Now, the production is your typical 80s production, very thin, a lot of reverb, and it worked well with arena rock, but it didn't work that well with thrash metal in my opinion. But it doesn't detract from the music. But the cool thing is that these extra tracks here are not recorded in that style. They have a very compact and powerful style. So you get to hear some of their songs in a production style that fits the music much better. And so I'm glad I picked this one up, this Dive Bomb reissue. And you also have, the cool booklet with the write-ups and all that stuff. But if you are more of an OG hunter, they are out there. I have seen some. So it is possible to get your hands on an OG vinyl. Thrash related, I guess. Anthrax, Anthems. I do have the digipack stored safely somewhere else. This is a covers album. There are 2 versions of Crawl though, which is an original Anthrax song. But other than that, it's cover songs. There's some Rush, there's some AC/DC, and it's good fun. I would never have bought this had it not been on sale. I like the guitar tone. The highlight, however, is Joey Belladonna's vocals. He's such a versatile vocalist, and he shows that on here, tackling AC/DC, tackling Rush style vocals. So this will get some spins every now and then, so I can enjoy Joey Belladonna's fantastic voice. Back to the world of dive bombs, Aragon. Um, you can see the hype sticker here. This time the hype sticker says cult classic US power thrash for fans of Nuclear Assault, Slayer, Death Angel, Overkill. I definitely get the Death Angel and Overkill references, and in a way also the Nuclear Assault ones. If we're thinking Handled with Care era Nuclear Assault, this is fantastic thrash metal too. I'm reminded more of Flotsam and Jetsam, but this is great stuff. Fast stuff. There's so many different riffs and sections per song. There's even some groove, so it's a musical journey. This is also just as good as the first tier thrash bands. Sadly, it ended up hitting in the third tier as well. The vocals are your soaring vocals with some screams and stuff, so that's probably why I think Flotsam and Jetsam. This is another fantastic thrash metal album. I have seen, I think, once an OG of this on vinyl, but again, you get some extra stuff. You have 2 bonus tracks. You have a cool write-up and all that stuff. So I'm glad I have this one on CD, reissued by Dive Bomb Records. So 2 fantastic thrash gems in the same stack of first impressions. Now, bit of an odd man out. Barren Earth, The Devil's Resolve. The hype sticker says it's progressive death metal, and it's certainly progressive, and you definitely have death metal elements. I would consider it more death doom, but I'm not the genre police. You have your death metal elements, you have death growls for sure, but you also have clean vocals, and it is progressive, but it's not progressive like like Obscura, for example. It's not like technical, like Obscura or like Death and stuff like that. It's not technical. It's progressive in the sense that the progressive elements are inspired by 70s prog rock. So this kind of sounds like Yes doing death metal, and I freaking love it. It's fantastic. It's not nasty, it's not dirty, it's not filthy, it's not horrible. So it won't be in everybody's taste if you're a death metal fan. But it does show that you can take death metal in so many directions. And I think this is great. It's very melodic in places. It's very death metal-y in places. And in places you have your 70s prog rock organs and all that stuff. So it's more in the vein of Opeth. And I do think if you like early Opeth, which I do, Barren Earth, definitely a band that's worth checking out. I really like this. Although, kind of weird in places. Some more kind of progressive stuff. Blind Seer, Apocalypse 2.0. This is, I would say, modern heavy metal with a progressive edge to it. It's kind of weird in places too, but I kind of like it. I think there are like 2 songs I don't care that much for. The rest are very enjoyable. It's I think if you like your heavy metal and you don't mind a little bit of arty fartiness, I think you'll enjoy this. As you can see, if you look through the booklet, they are going for a kind of an arty style, and they have costumes and stuff. So there's a bit of theatricality going on as well. A lot of the riffs are straight up old school heavy metal riffs. The vocals are pretty cool. They're not like unique or super special, but they work. They fit the music very well, so that's good. So it's heavy metal, which is kind of weird. And who doesn't like heavy metal, which is kind of weird? If you like your progressive metal and you think Dream Theater, if you think they're a bit over the top, check these guys out. They're worth listening to. And up last, some more thrash. The Battalion, Head Up High. This is more kind of like straightforward and no nonsense, dirty, kind of punky thrash metal maybe with some influence from D beat every now and then, crust punk and all that stuff. So yeah, it's good fun. I enjoy listening to it. Has lots of attitude, no nonsense, finesse. Who needs that shit when you have, fast, aggressive, dirty thrash metal like this too? Obviously, I like both the kind of melodic, arty farty thrash metal, and I like the more dirty, down and dirty, in your face thrash metal. So yeah, there you go. A good handful of CDs, mostly thrashy stuff, but you had a weird, yes, does death metal kind of album, and just heavy metal that's weird as well. If you think these sound interesting, do check them out. I can actually recommend them all. I enjoyed all of them. So there you go. Thanks for watching.